If you are just joining us, we are sitting down with Hilda Rogers, learning how to declutter our space. So Hilda, you brought a lot of demo products here with you, so I'm interested to see what you have to say, and more specifically that one over there, because all of us ladies saw that and we're thinking, like,
there's excitement.
That is such a great idea. Like, everyone should function like that. So can you tell us what you did over here?
So sure. After years of frustration with my kids pulling, you pile their shirts in their drawers, and they want the one from the bottom, and so they pull it out, and like, everything else gets messed up at the same time.
Okay,
right?
Adults do that too. I do that.
Exactly. It's frustrating, right? It is. So if you fold them this way, so it's still the same thing, just instead of folding it in half and sticking it on a pile, you fold it in thirds or quarters depending on your drawer, and then you just file them like as if they were
a filing
papers.
cabinet.
Right?
There we go.
And then it's really simple. Like, you can pull it out, you can pop it back in. It stays nice and neat. You can see all your clothing that you have, so you actually wear more of it because it doesn't get shoved on the bottom or at the back. And kids love it because they can actually find the shirt that they want, and parents love it because it's not a huge mess. And you can actually fit more in your drawer this way too. So even though you're trying to declutter, you actually can make better use of your space this way.
That is a great tip.
Fantastic. I like that.
So the other thing, when you're looking, so this is my daughter's long sleeve drawer. I folded it this way just for the demonstration, but usually it looks like this. But you would just go through maybe at the beginning of the season, because kids change size from year to year. So go through and pull out like anything that you think, oh, that's not going to be big enough for her next year, and I'm going to donate that. And so have a donate basket, and you just toss it in, and you're good to go. Same with like t-shirts, like, okay, so maybe this one isn't going to fit her this year. She hasn't worn these really all winter, but now I'm looking at them and going, yeah, that's not going to fit her this year. Let's give that one away. And then it only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take a long time, and
I love how you came up with this concept, but the South Asian mentality would be, we're not going to give it away, we're going to give it to the next kid. So we're going to give it to your younger sister or your brother.
Or cousins or whatever.
Between brothers and sisters, or not brothers and sisters, you can't dress, well, I guess you could, I don't know, whatever your choice is. But I mean, usually if you've got like two daughters, you hold on to the clothes, it's good to recycle them as well.
But you don't want it in your drawers in the meantime, right? Get it out of the way so that you can see what you're using on a daily basis, and then pull that back out again. You could label it in a bin with size or whatever, and pull it back out when it's time for the next kid to wear it.
So Hilda, I'm really excited about this. I'm personally excited about it because I do have two girls. So the basket is a great idea, one from the other, and that's great. And I love this. I love that it looks so organized. But how do you keep your kids keeping it that way, and their little fingers not turning it back to this?
It takes a little while, and it depends on the age. My daughter's 10, so she's pretty good at maintaining it. But the first little while we were doing it, like when you're putting the laundry away, some stuff just kind of gets shoved on top and squished down. But over time, it kind of maintains itself. Like, you just squish it down and add the new ones to the back. And it doesn't really get very messy. They stay standing pretty good. It just takes a lot of practice, and rewarding them if they're doing things that whatever their reward currency is. Sometimes screen time or money or candy or whatever. But training them to do something new, explaining why this is better than this, and then helping them to reinforce doing it all the time.
That's great. Good points. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention this one too. Last year when I was here, I mentioned the hanger trick for your clothing that's hanging. So at the beginning of each season, you put all your clothing on, actually these are backwards, but you put all your clothing on backwards, and then as you wear it, and you hang it back up again, you wash it, put it back up, you hang the hangers the correct direction. At the end of the year, or the end of the season, you can see anything that's still backwards hasn't been worn. And that's where it comes into that thing of, have I worn this? Have I not worn it?
Should we get rid of it?
It's really amazing what a difference it makes. Like, you think it's just all in your head, but it's not. Like, it's tangible evidence that I have not worn this, and it makes it a lot easier to let it go and give it to somebody else to use.
And I think the charity idea is good too, because there's so many people. We have so many pieces of clothing that are in good shape that we don't end up wearing, and somebody else could actually benefit from it, especially, so it's a good idea to kind of give it away to people who may need that.
So the other thing that's great to do at this time of year for spring is to get rid of all the hats and the mitts and all that winter stuff that you've been hanging on to all year and using, and then pull out the summer stuff. So some people think this is like a big deal. It takes all day to change out all your winter and spring, summer gear, but it really doesn't. I've got a basket on the end there, Sunny. That's my son's winter gear, hats and mitts and scarves and stuff. And in the little bin beside it, I've got his summer stuff. And all you really need to do is just swap those. And then if you flip the bin around,
let's do that. So we're going to put this
pop
winter
that all
gear
in there.
Here.
And then flip the bin around and you'll see there is
Another label.
Oh, it's
Winter
a label. It says winter
gear.
gear.
Nice.
I got this idea from a colleague of mine, another
Yes.
professional organizer. And actually, there's some gloves in there that are ripped, so I'd actually pull those out at this point in time.
Pop
throw
them in
the
there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
those are ripped. I throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
Those gray ones can go. And there's, some gloves and things that
I just
maybe
want
are...
to toss something in the donation.
I'm surprised your son's able to manage to keep both pairs of gloves intact.
Yeah. Well,
I'm always
there's at
losing
least a
them
few in there that are missing half, so those would go at this point too.
Yeah.
But it just makes it really simple, and you just switch it out at the beginning of the spring and at the beginning of the fall, and it just takes a couple seconds.
And you have these bags over here. Is there anything we
Yeah.
can do with these?
Well, so spring cleaning, you want to get rid of not just like clothing and other things, but go through paperwork, go through food, and like just clean out your house.
Yeah.
So like this is your best friend, is your garbage bag and your recycling bag, your donation bin. These are all like your decluttering tools for spring cleaning. So like if you're going on a job where you're like gonna, install something, you've got hammers and screwdrivers. For decluttering, these are your tools, your garbage, recycling, and your donation bag.
And very quickly, Hilda, if you could give one tip to our viewers on how to declutter this spring, what would that be?
I would say if you don't feel like you can do it on your own, if it's too overwhelming, ask for help. There's no shame in that. As a professional organizer, I help people all the time, and lots of others across Canada do as well. We don't judge. There's no, like my clients always, I'm so embarrassed for you to see my home. But honestly, like I've seen it all.
We
It
all
doesn't
have it.
matter to me. It's
Yeah.
not my stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's your stuff. And I'm going to help you
Yep.
to make decisions about what to let go of so that you can then enjoy your space, enjoy your home, and be free in it. So if you're looking for an organizer and you're not from my area, you can look at organizersincanada.com and you'll find one from all across Canada.
I will be on that.
Yeah, because as just like a normal person who doesn't know anything about decluttering, it can be very overwhelming.
It is.
I'm sure you
For
guys
sure.
agree.
Yeah. And it takes practice.
Yeah.
You get better at it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hilda, for coming
Thanks
on to
for
our show
having me.
again and giving us all these great tips on how to declutter for spring.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Hilda.
Thanks.
Don't go anywhere because coming up next, we're going to tell you how to spring clean your mind. Yes, your mind. So stay tuned and find out what we're going to talk about next.